Imagine a leader who has been at the forefront of international news, advised governments, and transformed the way we approach gender diversity in business. Now, picture this powerhouse combining her expertise to revolutionize education in the digital space. With experience spanning 7 countries, 3 continents, and 2 decades, our guest is a true champion of women's empowerment and a sought-after authority on inclusion worldwide. From working with global organizations to reaching over 20 million women through her ventures, she has built a legacy of impact that speaks for herself. Let's dive into an inspiration journey of storytelling, diversity, and breaking barriers in leadership with none other than the visionary CEO of IWEI.
My name is Carla Vega.
Transition from a CNN correspondent to becoming the EdTech platform CEO. So what do you think about this transition? What brings you to this shift in your career?
Something happened to me. It's like this blogger came out with a photo montage of myself. My face was bruised, like if somebody had punched me like several times. Not only that, it was written below my head in the Madrid pickup joint, and words like prostitute, battered women.
I want to understand more, like how did you overcome that entire experience? And how did you actually get your confidence back?
At the same time, I did empower myself. And as you know, when you try as well to empower others, you get empowered as well.
And we are twining as well today, color in blue.
It makes business sense. You know, you have to be as well aware that having more women in the leadership positions, they will bring you more profits and more benefits.
Really changed your perspective.
Is it normal to feel that you feel lack of confidence sometimes? We need to normalize that.
Let's all welcome Carla, Dela, Vega on our show, Her Talks by Women First Shops. Hi Carla, welcome on our show.
Hello Priyanka.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Carla Vega, as you just said, and I'm from Spain. I'm above everything, I'm a dreamer. I dream to see the world, and I've lived in 7 countries in 3 continents in the last 20 years. And apart from that, I am a former CNN correspondent and now the CEO of eWay, which is an EdTech platform for women empowerment and inclusion in the workplace.
That's amazing. So you have transitioned from a CNN correspondent to becoming the EdTech platform CEO. So what do you think about this transition? What brings you to this shift in your career?
Yeah, it's like everybody asks me this because it was like a strange transition. And let me tell you the story and why right now I'm the CEO of this platform and why I left CNN behind. My story starts in Istanbul. It was in 2009 when I was there, the CNN correspondent, but I was as well a writer. So I wrote my first book and I was so proud, of having come up with this book called Honor Heels and Headscarves. They were real life stories of women from Istanbul. I was very proud of myself, my family as well. And everything was ready to launch the book. I got my publisher and everything. So I was like ready to push the button and, really get good reviews about the book. So suddenly something happened to me. It's like this blogger came out with a photo montage of myself. My face was bruised, like if somebody had punched me like several times. Not only that, it was written below my head in the Madrid pickup joint, and words like prostitute, battered women, and very derogatory words about my work as a CNN correspondent and as well as a writer. To be honest, when I saw it for the first time, I really got shocked. And I was like feeling ashamed as well, and I didn't want anybody to see it. And Priyanka, that made me, what did happen is like my confidence went to zero. It really left me paralyzed. I was completely paralyzed because that. So then is when I realized that I was not empowered myself. I wasn't empowered actually. I had the CNN business card. I used to be as well the advisor of the vice president of the Spanish government. But actually within me, I was not empowered. So then is when I realized that I had to do something for myself to empower myself. And while I was empowering myself, in the way, I realized that I was not alone, that there were many women like me, that they felt this lack of confidence, that they didn't feel empowered themselves. So I co-found a media for the personal and professional growth of women, BPAO. And we reached almost 20 million women. It was in Spanish for Spain and South America. And yeah, from there, then I realized another thing, important thing, that it was like, okay, women per women, it's very important, but we need to do as well something for the corporations and involving the men. So it's why I have created a found eWay, which is this EdTech platform for the women empowerment and inclusion in the workplace. So that's my long story, but this is how from my personal struggle, I got to create something that I think that is meaningful and important for the society as well. And for helping others, but as well to help myself on the way.
I want to understand more, like how did you overcome that entire experience, and how did you actually get your confidence back?
Yeah, as I told you, it's like it took me time. So as I told you, we create this media company that it was a BPAO. So basically there we had coaches, psychologists, and as well we interview women all over the world, like looking for this holy grail of self-confidence. So by doing that, by interviewing all those women, by talking with these coaches, by talking with these psychologists, by writing my third book, which is already on the making, and gathering all this information, at the same time, I did empower myself. And as you know, when you try as well to empower others, you get empowered as well.
Absolutely.
So I think that I got my confidence back by doing all those things.
That's beautiful. So I want to understand, having lived in almost 7 countries and 3 continents, how was the multicultural experience influence the way you are working towards a diversity and inclusion at the moment?
Yeah, something that I always tell to people is like, people, they usually think about the differences that we have between nationalities, between genders. I do believe the other way around. I think about that we are like very much similar. You, Priyanka, that you are from India, myself, Carla, I've lived in India, I've lived in Singapore, I live in Turkey, and I wrote books about women in those places. And I see how similar we are in our core, in our emotions, in our fears, in our dreams. We have we are so much similar. So I think that that's an important starting point. Instead of starting from what makes us different, it's like what makes us equal. We are the same, not equal, they are similar, right? And then, yes, of course, depending on the countries, depending on the nationalities, we have like a different layer. Obviously, as an Spaniard, I'm like pretty different from the people from Germany, even if they are Europeans, because we are like more related. We are about societies and families. For example, I feel more related with people from India or people from here, from the Middle East, that for us, is very important, our societies, our families, right? So that makes a little bit of difference, from other countries. But at the core, we are the same.
Right. And I think I would like to bring that we both are working towards women empowerment and gender diversity at the same time. And I think this is and we are twining as well today, color in blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, yes.
Yes. Okay. So what are some of the most surprising insights you have uncovered in your work with gender diversity, especially in the corporate world?
I think that there is still like a lot of misconceptions. For example, one thing that many people think is like, okay, gender diversity is just about doing the right thing.
Right.
You just do it for the women and it is the right thing. But no, it makes business sense. You have to be as well aware that having more women in the leadership positions, they will bring you more profits and more benefits. And it's not Carla de la Vega, the one who say it. It's like, for example, Ernst and Young, they came out with this study that it says that 30% more of women in the leadership position means 6% more of profits for your company. Not only that, you have as well studies done by Boston Consulting Group that it says more women in the business, in the leadership positions means as well more innovation,
Right.
38% more with innovation. So it's more innovation, more productivity, more even like
more empathy.
Exactly, right? So we need to understand that. And I feel that this is still not understood within their corporations.
No, I think you are absolutely right in that point. So, can you bring any challenges which you're facing at the moment to bringing this gender diversity in the leadership position where you have to prove your point?
Yeah, one thing that I face is like in general, people they think that it's just about fixing us women, right? So it's like, okay, we are gonna run this program just for women, and then for women to boost them to propel them to the leadership positions. And yes, it's important. We run those programs as well, but it's not just about that. We need to change different things, right? To change the environment and to change the culture of the organizations. And for that, we need to work on the bias that we still have within the corporations. And not only on the bias that we have in the recruitment process, and as well in promoting people, right? But as well, we need to involve men. And that's
Absolutely.
a big thing, right? That till now is like they have been just about women per women, and then in the corporation just for the women. But it's like we need to get men involved in this in different ways. First, as sponsors of other women, as allyships, as allies, right? That could propel and mentor women, in order for them to get to the leadership positions, but as well, for them to understand the bias that they have and we have as well. It's like in general, when I go to the corporations, they said, no, we don't have bias. We don't. I'm always saying to them, guys, you have it as I do.
Right.
Carla de la Vega has been like since 2009, I've been in women empowerment and inclusion in the corporations. I still have my own bias, so everybody has it. And the important thing is and it's nothing wrong about having the bias. It's like, but the first thing that we need to do is to recognize them.
Absolutely.
Because if we don't recognize them, we cannot change them. So there is nothing wrong about having bias. And that's something that I want to make sure everybody understand. And nothing wrong about having bias. It's like, just get aware of that. And then let's change and work to change those bias.
That's beautiful. And I think it's all about the balance, which I also believe. We have to believe in, we have to walk hand in hand, and we need the support of men as well for this entire journey.
Definitely. Men actually is like right now they are in leadership positions, right? It's like we don't get mentorship by men, and we are not going to be able to bring all this innovation, all these profits to the companies, right? So men need to understand, and there are certain men that they really understand right now, and they want to support, and they have become allyship. We are interviewing as well so many men, to become role models for other men here in the region, which they are already, like propelling women forward, right? There are other men that they are upset, which I do understand them. They're upset because why? Because we are forcing right now in the corporations a little bit the quotas, in some of corporations, and they're upset because they believe that their jobs are being taken by women, and they should be the ones who take those jobs. It's true that some things that have been forced right now, but it has been forced because it's needed. And the balance of the pendulum of diversity and inclusion, it has been gender. It has been always favoring men. So now this pendulum, it has shifted a little bit, like helping women more in the corporations. So that's normal. And now it's going to become to the center where men, they will have as well the same opportunities, right? They need to understand that this was needed, for a while in order to create a more balanced corporations and to get their benefits.
Okay. That's beautiful, Carla. So now we have a fun part here.
Yeah.
So we keep asking you certain rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Okay. So you have to answer based on the first thing which comes to your mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
What was the one book which really changed your perspective?
The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
Nice. Okay. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Night.
Oh,
Completely.
okay. The most inspiring place you have visited?
I would say the Victoria Falls. I really got contact. I don't know. I felt there the immensity of this universe and the beauty of this universe, and it really touched my heart and my soul.
Beautiful. Okay. One thing on your bucket list you are still eager to check off.
Yeah, Shakti, which is my second book. It has been set by Vogue magazine in Spain and by director, a movie director. That is a very cinematographic book. So I want to see Shakti to be a movie and to see it in the theaters and into Netflix.
And I wish you luck for that. Okay. So, biggest lesson you learned as a journalist?
Biggest
lesson you learned as a journalist?
So there you have to be quick, very, very quick.
Absolutely.
And you have to do the things now, right now, and don't wait for anybody to do it for yourself, and just do it as fast as you can.
So if you'll get a chance to have lunch with any of the historical figure, who would it be?
Maya Angelou. I really like her, a poet and a performer in US. I think that she's amazing. I would love to talk to her.
So the last question is a cause you would advocate for other than gender diversity.
Oh, wow. Gender diversity. I would advocate for men's empowerment.
Okay.
Men's empowerment. I think that it's much needed as well.
Okay, nice. Okay. So let's jump back to our questions again. And how do you see the future of diversity and inclusion in the corporate world evolving over next decade?
Yeah. What I see is obviously we have seen that, and McKinsey has said as well in his study, that the gender diversity, if we take action, we'll get like 13 trillion increase in the global GDP. So I think every company wants to get, a part of this. So I'll see more women in leadership positions. Right now, we just here in Dubai and in UAE, they have 30% of women already in the public sector. So we will see more women in the leadership positions without any doubt, because basically it's there where they can reap the benefits of having gender inclusion. Obviously, we'll have all these men actually, creating a more inclusive workspaces where these women, they can thrive. And I'll see sponsorships, by those men, as well mentorships. And as I'll see as well more women in the boards. And as you have seen, like lately as well, this government, they have approved a law, right? That from next year, it's going to be needed for the companies that they are in the stock exchange, the private stock exchange. So basically, they will have to have one woman in the board. So I'll see that in the corporations in the next 10 years without any doubt. And obviously, we will see less bias. So it means more opportunities for everybody. Obviously, I would love to say that we are gonna arrive to gender parity in our spaces, in our workplaces, but I think that that's a little bit farther away. No, it's not gonna be in the 10 years that we have ahead. But I think that if companies, they get this holistic approach, which is like more about empowering women in their organizations, at the same time, like creating and understanding the values that they have and getting rid of them in their process and in their process of hiring, and as well in the promotions, and as well men getting and championing women, you will see like a drastic and big change in this region, actually.
So the women, those who are feeling underrepresented in their fields, what advice would you give to help them to rise and make a shine or impact?
The first thing that I will say to them is like, is it normal to feel that to feel lack of confidence sometimes? We need to normalize that. When you are out of your comfort zone, when you are in male dominated environments, it's normal that sometimes you don't feel confident. So anyway, just keep working on that, keep talking, keep moving, keep, taking decisions, keep raising your hand, in the meetings, even if you don't feel confidence. Because the thing is about being courageous. So just be courageous. We have the courage because the confidence will come after once that you master what you do.
No, I think that's beautiful. Uh, can you please share a few success stories when you were in CNN? I
Ah.
really want to know that.
So when I was in CNN, I was most of the time in Istanbul. So in Istanbul, I covered, for example, the first visit of Barack Obama, like the first Black president of the United States coming for the first time to a Muslim country, which was, wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Then I don't know, I have amazing stories as well. Like for example, Mahmoud Abbas and Simon Peres coming to Istanbul as well to negotiate about the peace treaty. And unfortunately, we are still there. But I have these very amazing stories. But the thing that I really I'm most proud about, to be honest. While I was doing CNN as a correspondent, I would write as well articles for the Spanish newspaper, the El Mundo. El Mundo is one of the main Spanish newspapers. And I wrote this story that it was about a big case, a scandal that was happening in Spain. And so my story, it became an scoop. It was the front page of the Spanish newspaper. And it was very rare, for a woman at that time, gets, the front page of the El Mundo. But it's not that I was proud because I was the front page of the Mundo. It was because my story has a tremendous impact. Basically, thanks to the story, the judge that was judging this, he was conducting this trial in Spain. He brought new witnesses thanks to my story. Not only that, it's like the victims of the families of the victims, they came to me, thanking me, for the story that I have done. And even, it's like one of the ministers in Spain, he got, expelled from the government thanks to this story. So there I really realized the power of the communication, the power of doing something for the society. And it really struck me very hard in my heart, to understand what an immense power that we have and how we can change things just by writing, just by getting out stories. That was the thing that I really am more proud about.
Oh, that's really inspiring,
Yeah.
actually. Any struggles did you face during your corporate journey, which you really like to share here, so that the females, those who are watching the show, they can learn?
Yeah. Well, the main struggles is I told you since the beginning, confidence. So my main struggles has been always about my confidence and about imposter syndrome. Another thing. And let me link it with the story that I told you before. Imposter syndrome, it really pays a toll in us, in women. Now I'm very proud of that story of, that front cover of the Spanish newspaper. But I didn't realize when I did it, how important it was, what was the impact that it has. I was completely afraid of everybody would thought about me that I'm an imposter, that maybe they realize that in CNN I'm not that good, that maybe in the newspaper they feel I'm not good enough, all those things. So my mind, it was caught up in all these bad all bullshit, to be honest. And I have it in my mind, instead of being proud of myself, of all these accomplishments. So it's what lack of confidence does to us. It's what imposter syndrome does to us. It robs us from our self-belief and our drive and our, everything that we can have and give to the world. So I think that that's the most important thing. It's like believe in yourself, right? And understand your own value. Be proud of your achievements. Write them down in a paper. What do you have achieved? And as well, understand that you are worthy, and regardless what you have achieved, regardless how good mother you are, regardless what you have achieved in your job, what such a good neighbor you are, regardless what you do, you are worthy. And we need to understand that. And it's important, your contribution to the world. And I think that that's one of the main important things that I learned in my journey, actually.
Thank you so much for the wonderful advices, actually. Any special message would you like to give through our platform to the females who are watching the show? Anything specific you want to say?
That if you want to rise in life, it's normal that you are going to feel unconfident. And that's completely, and you have to get used to that, to feel uncomfortable. Because every time that you would get out of your comfort zone, you would feel that uncomfort again. So just keep thriving, keep believing, and keep being your most authentic self. Because it's the only thing that you can do. If you want to thrive, in your life and your personal and professional life, you have to get used to feel uncomfortable.
I think I couldn't agree more with you on this thing. Like, we all have to believe in ourselves. That is the first beginning of your journey, that you have to believe in yourself that, yes, I can do this thing. And then I think rest is again going to fall in your place.
Yeah, but Priyanka, sometimes we don't believe it. But even if we don't believe it, we have to keep going.
Right.
We have friends, we have colleagues that will remind us. So even if you don't believe it, sometimes you just have to move.
Right.
Just do. Keep acting, keep moving, keep taking decisions, keep talking and talking in the meetings. Keep moving, even if at the beginning you don't believe in yourself. That will come after. Once that you master what you do, that you have more experience. But even if you don't believe, just keep moving, keep taking decisions, keep going ahead.
That's wonderful. And I think as we wrap up, Carla, thank you so much for all your insights and the things what you are doing to advance the gender diversity is really amazing. And I think thank you so much for leading the way for everyone else.
No, thanks to you, Priyanka, because what you are doing as well with your business, just to help women, empower women as well in the corporations, and all the things that you are doing for the gender diversity as well within the corporations. I think that is amazing, and you are as well like a very inspiring role model. And a trailblazer as well here in the region for everybody to follow you as well.
Thank you so much. And that really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Carla.
Thanks to you.